Trump's actual vaccine, Operation Warp Speed. When President Donald J. Trump launched Operation Warp Speed in 2020, the mainstream narrative portrayed it as an initiative to fast-track a vaccine against COVID-19. But beneath the surface lay a deeper strategy that few truly understood. Trump's intention, outside of the pharmaceutical establishment, was not to unleash a genetic experiment upon humanity, but to mobilize the nation's resources toward proven, readily available, and inexpensive therapeutic options that had already shown extraordinary success in treating viral infections, namely hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, azithromycin, doxycycline, and zinc. These compounds, used in combination, demonstrated near-total efficacy when administered early, with countless physicians reporting full patient recovery within 24 to 48 hours. Trump's vaccine was not a needleful of synthetic mRNA DNA-altering code, but a shield of therapeutic compounds designed to neutralize viral replication, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the immune response, safely, affordably, and without dependence on pharmaceutical giants. In contrast, the deep state's mRNA DNA-altering poisonous bioweapon called a vaccine, pushed by global health agencies, legacy media, and corporate entities tied to the World Economic Forum, was built upon an experimental mRNA platform that reprogrammed cellular machinery, bypassing natural immunity and establishing long-term dependency on continuous booster doses. The tragedy of the pandemic was not the virus itself, but the deliberate suppression of truth. Early in 2020, frontline doctors pleaded for permission to use hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, pointing to hundreds of clinical studies showing drastic reductions in hospitalization and death. Yet, their voices were silenced, censored, and professionally destroyed. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the NIH, and Big Tech coordinated to ridicule and ban any mention of these cures, all while the media propagated fear to justify lockdowns, mask mandates, and the mass rollout of poisonous experimental bioweapon injections. In hindsight, truly, hindsight is 2020. It becomes clear that if every individual had been given either hydroxychloroquine with azithromycin and zinc, or ivermectin with doxycycline and zinc, the pandemic could have been diverted. Millions of lives could have been spared. Businesses could have remained open, and the social, psychological, and economic devastation that followed would never have occurred. Instead, the architects of fear extended the crisis, manufactured variants to justify booster shots, and cultivated an environment of perpetual dependence, ensuring profit for pharmaceutical corporations and control for political elites. Operation Warp Speed, viewed through this lens, was a strategic gambit by Trump to expose the corruption of the global medical establishment. By accelerating the timeline, he forced the hidden hand to reveal itself. Fauci, Gates, and their media enablers pushed their mRNA product before long-term safety data existed, revealing the lengths to which they would go to control the population and monopolize health. Trump's parallel message that therapeutics worked and lockdowns were unnecessary was systematically suppressed because it threatened a trillion-dollar global agenda. Today, as new evidence continues to surface about adverse effects, excess mortality, and waning efficacy, the distinction between Trump's intended solution and the deep state's experimental injection becomes ever more apparent. His vaccine was one of truth, treatment, and transparency. Theirs was one of deception, dependency, domination, and death. The world now sees what could have been prevented if only the people had been told the truth from the beginning.